You can think two ways. You can think, nobody's going to recognize me, I'm going to be a failure, or you can think, I'm going to be really successful wellness coach, right?
Hey everyone, welcome to Own Your Story. Today I have Tien with me. Tien is a yoga facilitator as well as a wellness coach. And today we're going to dive into her millennial story, talking about her studies in nutrition in Canada, working in Canada for 1 year, and why she made the decision to come back to Malaysia a few months back. So to start off with our conversation, so like a lot of people dream of working like overseas or living overseas. Why do you make the unconventional decision from a first world country and then back to Malaysia?
Because the grass is not greener on the other side.
Yeah.
Really, we have greener grass. The weather there is cold. But there's many reasons.
Yeah.
So firstly, my family is over here. So family does come first. Once you realize you leave your family, then it's when you realize how important they are. And then second, I want to start a clean slate. So in terms of career-wise, I was in food industry. I was always involved in food industry. And now I want to be more involved in the holistic physical health approach. So I thought the only way I can get out of that association of myself with food and that career, food industry, I needed to really just get out physically as well. So, yeah.
So when you pull your root off, like from Canada, a place where you are so familiar and you have been living for 5 years, what is the hardest part?
I think the hardest part is just clearing everything there. Like really removing myself completely in terms of like my personal belongings. It's more like a tedium, not. In fact, I was really excited to come back because I just love uncertainties.
Wow, that's interesting.
In that sense,
I was about to ask you, how about uncertainty? Like, you
yeah.
don't know what's gonna happen, and actually that excites you.
Yeah.
To have a new chance to do what you really want to do.
Yeah. Because I think I would say I'm quite a positive person. So I always think that it's something positive can come out of that. Like if I come back here and who knows, I'll be a very famous wellness coach. Like who knows, right? You can think two ways. You can think nobody's gonna recognize me, I'm gonna be a failure, or you can think I'm gonna be really successful wellness coach, right? So it's which side do you want to think? And I tend to lean towards the more positive side. That's why when people say, "Oh, aren't you afraid of what if you don't get it? What if people don't know you? What if you're gonna lose all your friends and things like that?" I'm like, well, you can also make new friends, and you can also work on being successful and things like that, right?
That's a very good mindset to have, framing the uncertainties.
Yes, exactly.
So what got you, or what inspired or motivate you in wellness?
I realized the importance of wellness, right? I have friends always complaining like, oh, getting sick once a month or even once a week. And I don't really get that. And I see the difference between me and them is that I try to prioritize my health and wellness. And like I feel like once I prioritize that, the way I treat others is differently too. And the way I look at myself, the most importantly, is different. Once I look at myself in a better, healthier way, then I can see others and treat them better as well. So in terms of that, I have better relationships. I have better mindset, right? And what you think, you become. So what you think is how your life will be, right? Yeah.
I see. So like at this moment, do you have any challenge? Do you face any challenges in taking care of yourself? It's like a lot of people like say, I try to like promise myself I would run how many times a week, but sometimes I feel like, do you have any challenges in keeping yourself, like keeping a routine in terms of physical exercise or workout?
I don't really, because I just enjoy doing it. In fact, like going to the gym, going to the gym is like an escape for me from because I feel like once I'm working out, nothing's in my mind except for the workout, except for the movement, except for me grinding the shit out, trying to get the weights, that kind of thing. So it really, because I'm someone who just tends to have a lot of things on my mind. I think I'm not alone in this, So, and it gets me anxious, it gets me nervous. So being able to escape from that feels good.
I see. So do you have any tips for people to keep to a routine?
I would
to motivate
say,
themselves?
yeah, just find something you really like to do, right? So for me, it's yoga. I really like how my body moves, or how I feel stronger whenever I do yoga, even though it's just holding a position for a really long time. Being able to hold that position is not easy. You would think it's easy, but it's actually not that easy. And or able to hold a balance, right? So
you find your passion in fitness, in yoga, wellness is through doing and then feeling it. That's how you find this is what I really want to do. And like you used to think that food is the thing that you're really into, and then it's through doing, and then you change your perception of what you really want to do. I see. So it's also to keep an open mind, right?
Yes, an open mind and
what you want to do in life.
And just going for it. Just not thinking too much and just do it. Once you do it, you like it and don't like it, then you can figure out. But you start, just don't give so much. Don't give all the excuses and say like, oh, there's not enough time. There's not enough all these things and that.
I see. Has there been any challenge or setback, very big challenge, that shaped you who you are today? Because you seem very confident in what you believe and your sets of values. What makes you feel so firm about them?
I would say just being open to experience and really trying all kinds of things and seeing what works, what doesn't work. I would say journaling is very important to really reorganize your thoughts of the day and look at a situation, step back, being able to step back and observe the situation at the second time and looking at it from a different perspective and seeing how you can learn from it rather than dwelling on it, kind of thing. So I'm sick of just not being committed to something and always half-assing everything and not being satisfied with anything, not being contented. So
And I recently read one of your article about like the quality that you look for in terms of traveling partners, and it seems that you really love adventures. And you have done like backpacking, solo traveling, couch surfing. So it's like, why do you do all this like adventurous stuff? What makes you choose like this way of life?
Because I don't want to be like the masses. Because like I want to feel unique. Like I want to be different, right? We all want to be recognized, be acknowledged. So but at the same time, I find fulfillment from being able to not just travel for the sake of getting a good Insta picture about a landmark or being able to post to it to my friends. It's more about my own personal experience and how I can relate to the culture, what I learn from them, what I can learn about myself, things like that. So
So from like all of your traveling that you have done when you were studying like your 5 years abroad, what are some lessons that this traveling have taught you, and how has they changed your worldview?
I would say most of them is about learning about myself. Learning how my style of traveling, what I prioritize, what I like to do, what I don't like to do. People travel, usually they just follow whatever's on the TripAdvisor, but then I realized like most of the stuff there I don't even like to do, So and also being able to learn how to manage your money well, manage your time well when you're traveling, because you have so limited time, but you have so many things you want to do, right? And also being able to just rely on humanity to survive. Like
I like
people
that. Rely on humanity.
Yeah, people actually generally want to help others and really want you to feel welcome in their presence, right? Generally. Or maybe not everyone, but most probably. And like I said, it's a law of attraction, right? If you think that people are generally nice, you will attract that kind of people. But if you think people are generally bad, then you will perceive yourself as that, and people don't feel comfortable in your presence, and they want to defend themselves. They close a wall in front of you already, right? But it's actually you're the one that already closed the wall in front of them. That's why they're showing their wall as well. So
what's the biggest change in yourself, like after going through all these experiences?
Biggest change in myself is I realized also I travel a lot to escape from reality in some sense. Like I don't have to decide on what's my next move, because it's kind of like a spontaneous thing. So that's the thing I like about travel. But the same thing I hate about travel, because it's like
When you come back.
in a way when I come back, but also in a way that I know that I'm escaping from reality. Like one day I have to face the truth, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, before that, after I quit my job in Canada, before I came back here, I was like, I know that I should straight away start my career, but at the same time, I was like, I'm not good enough. I should go out, travel more, expand my repertoire, and then come back and work once I get more experience. But I know that's just an escape of thinking because I'm not good enough to work right now. Yeah, so I was like, no, go to work, go find a job. Yeah.
So that's what you tell yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. I see. So, like before we move on to other things, do you have any tips for young travelers who are on a shoestring budget?
Spend your money wisely in terms of like really do the things that you want to do and not because somebody else asks you to do.
Yeah.
Or because this is a Michelin star restaurant and you must eat in this restaurant. Oh yeah, go to local restaurants that nobody knows of and just try their food. It's going to be equally as good. Try out couch surfing, try hitchhiking. There's just so many ways to save money. There's a lot of resources online on like how to travel in a budget. Most of them involve like some sort of risk or some sort of getting out of your comfort zone kind of thing. But yeah, you just gotta do it, you know, if you really, what do you want to prioritize? Do you want to prioritize comfort or do you want to prioritize budget money kind of thing? So really know what your values are and see what there's always opportunity cost, you know.
Yeah.
You just have to sacrifice one thing. You cannot get everything, right?
I see. So what would you say is your best investment in terms of money, time, and energy in the past, say, 3 years?
My backpack. Oh, energy. Okay, that's not energy, but
it can be
money,
anything. Money can be money, energy, or your time.
Get a really good backpack. Don't skimp on that. Yes. Make sure it's the right fit for you, especially for someone short. Make sure you got the right length.
Okay.
Yeah. Get at least 40 liters and above. Get the right shoes as well. Don't spend money on jewelry. You don't need jewelry.
So in a way, like from your investment, I can see that it's investment in experience as well when you're young.
Yes. Yeah.
Get the right backpack and the best shoes you can to explore the world.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you would think it's all this material stuff, but it's like all this material stuff affects how you travel as well, right? For me, when I put on my backpack, I feel like, oh wow, I'm a explorer now.
Yes.
Every time I put on my backpack, I feel like I'm braver.
Yeah. So in your own case, you study nutrition and then now you are going a totally different direction into wellness and coaching. So what would be your advices or your tips for young people who just graduated and, you know, coming into the real world? What would be your tips for them?
I would say mine wasn't completely deviation from nutrition. It's still within wellness realm because nutrition is part of wellness, but it's just in a different aspect of wellness. So I would say my advice is don't rush into going to university. Really take the time to step back and slow down, observe, really understand yourself first before trying anything. So try as many things as you like with minimal investment. So don't go and invest your time and money in that 4 years education, right? But I mean minimal investment. So maybe 1 month traveling or maybe a part-time job which you can just get out easily, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, just try everything, but not something that involves a lot of commitment in a sense. Take a gap year, right, to do that. Yeah.
For you yourself, what have you done, like in terms of like getting to know yourself?
Journaling.
I see.
That's a big part. Also traveling, reading. So the more you read, the more you can understand different perspective and how it matches with yours or doesn't matches with yours, right? And how it affects your thinking and everything, right? But all this comes with slowing down and being willing to slow down, take the time to reflect and journal. Because if you read and you don't reflect, it's like sucking in, but nothing is coming out, right? From your own words at least.
The distillation of wisdom.
Yeah.
So has there been any book that has the biggest impact in your perspective, your life?
I would say there's this book called Mastering Your Mean Girls by Melissa Ambrosini. And it basically talks about how to really listen and understand that there's a voice inside of you that is self-sabotaging and it's not true. You know, it's like how you're never good enough, how you don't deserve to be loved, to be cared for, to be acknowledged. Basically, you don't deserve all the good things in life. I mean, especially for someone like me, I always think that quite lowly, very low self-esteem myself, right?
How do you overcome that? Like any simple steps that has a big impact?
I'm gonna say, I know it's gonna be cliche again, or like I'm just gonna say it, repeat myself again. It's all journaling.
I see. So journal has helped you a lot.
Yeah, journal has helped me a lot. It's like being able to see how much I've grown since I was younger until now, like how my thinking has grown, what has affected me in my life, what I've actually been through. Because a lot of times we just go through life in such a hurry that we don't take the time to appreciate the moment, even tiny, simple, especially the tiny moments. And but it's actually in those tiny moments that we learn something about ourselves or learn something about somebody else, or it actually makes an impact in our lives.
I see.
But we don't see it until we write it down and we take a step back and look back.
I see. So what's your process of journaling? Do you do it every day? And do you review? How often do you review?
So right now I do it every day. Before that, when I was in Canada, I wasn't. That's why I was so lost. But,
Okay.
I do it every day now. My thought process is I just scan through from the early morning what I did until the end of the day, and then I see what is important and then I write it down. So but in a way it's like I was like, oh, I actually made a decision to eat that and not that. Why? It's like, oh, okay, because of that I understand myself because of that. It's like that's pretty interesting. But it's this kind of things, who would have thought, right?
Alright, so before we come to the last questions, so how can people connect with you or find out more about your work?
Right. You can follow me on Instagram at the Sun Yogi with 2 eyes at the end.
Alright,
because the Sun Yogi is taken.
Okay.
And a little bit background story about that. So Sun, my Chinese name Yang,
I see,
is pronounced as Yang, which is Taiyang, even though the writing is a bit different. So, and also sun is something that brings positive light to people, and that's how I want to portray myself as, in a way, like a light to guide some people, kind of thing. So
so primary channel is Instagram.
I also occasionally write Medium posts.
Alright, we'll link up your Medium account as well. Come to the last part. So what is the impact that you want to make at this point of life?
Good one that you add the last one. Because every time it changes. But I think, okay, if I give a general one, it's like, I just want people to be happy when after they talk to me, or when they're in my presence, feel comfortable around me, just being happy because they feel good about themselves in some ways, whether physically, mentally, emotionally.
I see. So is there any one big principle that you live by?
Nothing is permanent. Everything is impermanent. Yes,
nothing is permanent.
Yes.
So everything come and go, and then don't dwell in the moment.
So just let go, move on, kind of thing. So
alright, I guess this is the end of our conversation today.
Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience, sharing your views, sharing your perspective generally as a millennial. And I really admire that you believe in something so much and you believe in yourself, that kind of confidence. And I hope that your energy can bring more energy to the audience.
Thank you, Isabel, for allowing me to do this podcast today as well.
So I guess you guys learned something from our conversation today, and see you guys next week.